Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is John. I'm Orphan Car Garage. We're located in Abington, and that's in the state of Massachusetts. We're about 30 minutes or so south of Boston. The car I'm presenting to you today, certainly for a long time, was no stranger to us or the American roadways. That's the station wagon, classic American station wagon. These at one time were as common as popcorn, but now about as common as a rotary telephone. Sadly, they've gone the way of the dodo bird, thanks to the SUV influx and craze that came just a few short years after this car in front of us was built. Little did we know in 1985, when this Chevy Caprice Classic was built, what was going to happen to the auto industry just a few 10 years or so later, as the SUV craze really took hold in the early to mid 1990s, and full-size station wagons like this became extinct on new car lots. Thankfully, you have Orphan Car Garage to still continue to support these orphans and to keep them in service. Here we have, as again, a 1985 Chevy Caprice Classic. This is an outstanding, clean, mostly original example. Just 3 owners this car has had. The first owner from Maryland kept this car for 25 years. So the original owner owned this car for 25 years. It was then transferred to a new owner in Iowa who kept it an additional 12 years. Obviously, it's not a bad car for owners to keep it that long. And then in 2022, it was bought by its third owner here in Massachusetts before being purchased by us here at Orphan Car Garage because he no longer had any need for the vehicle. Well maintained its entire life. I will say right off the bat that this car has had paint work. And if you know General Motors in the 1980s, they had a real paint problem, delamination issues. So this car could very well have been painted under warranty at one time, but it definitely shows signs of some paint work. Very, very presentable, but obviously not original paint. Correctly done. We've got a really cool two-tone brown and tan, brown and gold with this orange tape stripe that looks very correct and very factory. That's what leads me to believe that GM themselves may have painted this car under that GM paint warranty. Don't quote me on it. We don't have any proof of that, but that's just going by my experience in the industry since the 1980s. It would not surprise me at all. If they didn't do it, it was done by maybe its first owner of 25 years. Nice job. Driver quality job, maybe a high-end driver quality job, but certainly not a show car job. This is a very, very nice cruising car that you can get in and drive and enjoy. You can see here a little bit of difference in paint. So the header panel was probably painted at a different time than the hood. This time at night really shows that, which I'm glad, because I want you guys to see this car as it is. Beautiful example overall, but certainly not perfect. But let's face it, it's a 1985 Chevy Caprice station wagon. So how perfect is one going to be this many years later? We've got some wire wheel covers with some very recent hand-cooked tires. I think those tires are less than a year old. Along with those tires, at the same time, a 4-wheel brake job was performed on this car. All 4 wheels of this car had new brakes installed less than a year ago. One of the flaws that the car does have is this rear filler panel has deteriorated here between the bumper and the tailgate. So I wanted to point that out. These are readily available through the aftermarket if it bothered you that much. Overall though, again, a decent presentation. I just like to show everybody the good, bad, and the ugly. Got a little bit of drying here on the weather stripping of the rear tailgate window. As we go around the passenger side, got about the same. Very, very nice overall appearance. Again, not a concourse show winning car, but a very, very nice car that you can be proud to own, add to your collection, drive every day in the nice weather. I would certainly hate to see this car get used and abused the way so many of these were over the years as they became second, third, and fourth owner vehicles. This one has been really nicely preserved, especially on the interior. I'm going to get to that next. Some optional sport mirrors here. All the wagons, and they built a lot of wagons, about 56,000 or just short of about 56,000 Caprice Classic wagons were built in 1985. With that, about 200,000 or 255,000 or something crazy like that, Caprice Classics in whole were built. That would include sedans and coupes. The sedans and coupes, you could still get a V6. I think it was a 4.3 liter V6, but all the wagons had the 305 V8. This car is no exception. This car has a 305 V8, a very nice running car. I think it put out about 165 horsepower that year. This car is also very nicely equipped, as you'll see. You've got working power door locks. We've got power windows here, which work on all 4 windows, as does the power tailgate window. Turn that buzzer off. 89,041 miles, and that is original and backed up on our Clean Carfax report. 89,041. We've got air conditioning that was recently serviced and blowing ice cold. We've got the original AM/FM stereo, which does work, but doesn't work great. Typical 1980s Delco electronics. Very, very, very clean. Nice GM floor mats. Nice carpeting under the floor mats. I don't think there's been children in this car. I really don't think this car has been subjected to children at all. Interior is really, really nicely presented. You've got a split bench seat there, which is power operated, but not all the functions on that work. You can hear the clicking of the motor, but only certain functions of it work, so I want you to know that as well. Rear door panels in great shape. Of course, everybody gets an ashtray, even in the back, and I'm going to show you that. Look at the back seat on this thing. It doesn't look like it's ever been sat in. The GM floor mats back here as well, with a beautiful carpet. I don't think this car, again, has been subjected to a family. Seatbelts all accounted and present. Nice headliner, no issues in the headliner at all, which is unheard of for a car of this generation. You won't find any rust on this car at all. This car originated in Maryland and went to Iowa before coming to Massachusetts. Really, really nice. Got some undercarriage photos on our website. I encourage you to check those out. Now, the best part of all, the thing that people love the most. Yes, it has the 3rd row rear facing seat. How cool is that? And look how clean the condition of this bay is back here. Look at that carpeting. Look at the seat. Absolutely unbelievable. Little bit of fading here on the plastic, which is typical of that era. It was the 1980s after all, and sometimes I have to remind people the Americans were not putting out the best quality product in the 1980s. We sometimes forget that. They've come a long way, and I'm proud of them for that. But this generation of American cars was known for being, well, sort of crappy. And not just GM, Ford and Chrysler are involved in that as well. That's, of course, when we saw Toyota and Datsun, Nissan, and Honda take over because people were just tired of the quality GM, Ford, and Chrysler were putting out. Now, this is really cool. An ashtray. An ashtray for the 3rd seat passengers. How funny is that? I guess in case you had some adults back here, of course, they were going to light a Marlboro or Tareyton 100. What was the other one? Virginia Slims were popular back then as well. So there again, you've got this filler here that's original in plastic or rubbery, deteriorated, but that interior is just absolutely outstanding. Decent rear panel here. Really clean body. Nice taillights and trim. Got that wind deflector there, which was probably standard with the roof rack, which the car does have as well. There's no real scratches or dents to speak of on this car. We are missing a center cap. I'm currently trying to locate one. The Chevy emblem here in the middle of the wire wheel cover. That is currently missing. Nice chrome trim. Overall, a very nice presentation. Again, not a perfect car, but a car you could absolutely be proud to own. We spent some money on this car here too. The previous owner did the tires and the brakes just within the last year. We got the car. We replaced the valve cover gaskets. We put a new radio in the car. Radio. I'm looking at the radio. It's been a long day. We put a new radiator in the car. We replaced the valve cover gaskets. We changed the fluids, fresh oil change. Might be a couple of other things that I've forgotten. A bunch of bulbs were out. We replaced all the bulbs. Car's equipped with cruise control, tilt steering wheel. Again, power windows that all work, power locks that work, power seat that's finicky, cold air conditioning, and an okay AM/FM stereo. Nice, smooth running car. Turn this radio on here. Power button. Okay, make a liar out of me. It was working earlier, I promise. Now I'm just getting static. There we go.
We missed the is it November 1st? Get your 24%.
Okay, so maybe you want to replace the radio. It was working beautifully an hour ago. But temperamental radio. Okay, so the back window here, I'm going to put that down. It just went down. I'll show you that. We're going to pop the engine. Gauges all work fine. Remote mirror on both sides, I believe. Yep, we got a control here and that works. There's that window in the down position. I believe, yep, when you put the window down, you can open the tailgate this way as well. So it's got that dual function tailgate. Almost forgot that. Take a quick look at the engine bay, and we're going to wrap this up because I'm running out of daylight. There you go. That 305 V8 purrs like a kitten. Very, very nicely sorted and clean engine bay here. As I said, that air conditioning blows cold. No problems there at all. Really nice running car. These put out about 165 horsepower, which was an increase over 1984. I guess they increased some compression and added a Spark Advanced computer in 1985, which gave it a little extra oomph. So 165 horsepower certainly isn't going to burn any tires, but I don't think that's really the idea with one of these cars anyway. So there you have it, a rarity on today's roads, a 1985 Chevy Caprice Classic station wagon, the last of the Mohegans, as this car went out of production, I think in 1990, and replaced with a restyled Caprice, which I'm not a fan of, from 1991 to 1995, and that was about the end of it. This is the one people think of when they think of a Chevy Caprice, that 1977 to 1990 body style. Here at Orphan Car Garage, we're asking $11,900. $11,900 for this piece of American history. Turnkey car, drive it anywhere. Just have a lot of fun. Just take care of it, please, like the previous owners did. This car deserves to live on for generations to come. It's lasted this long, where so many of its brothers and sisters have not. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. Check this car out on my website, orphancargarage.com. We got a full gallery of photos there. Of course, subscribe and like to us here on YouTube. We never know what we're going to have. And like I said in an earlier video, I sometimes never know what we're going to have. Every week is a new adventure here at OCG. My name is John. Give me a call. We'll see you down the road. Thank you.